Are you looking for an update on the recent Mod The Sims malware situation? If so, you've come to the right place. Hello, my name is Jennifer and welcome to my Sims 4 news video. So we have an update from the Sims After Dark Discord server and also from Luthien Rising, who does the mod tracking post over on EA Answer headquarters after every update. So I have the update from Sims After Dark Discord here on the screen. It's from today, November 6th, but as a refresher, if you didn't know what happened, yesterday, November 5th, we had some warnings from the Sims After Dark server, Deadpool's Discord, and also Twisted Mexi's Discord server. All of these are Discord servers in terms of the ones that are kind of gray looking. So here is the warning from the Sims After Dark server, where they were saying to not download any mods from Mod The Sims, and because they had been made aware that 3 mods from Twisted Mexi were suddenly updated on Mod The Sims after years of that account being inactive. Twisted Mexi did not upload them there himself, so his account must have been compromised. He only puts his mods on his site and his Patreon, which it links into his site, or his site links into his Patreon, so that's where you should be getting any mods from Twisted Mexi, not from Mod The Sims or anywhere else anyways. But there also had been some files that were purporting to be from Moxie Mason, who I believe is an 18 plus modder, or these particular ones were. So they were on years old projects that hadn't been updated in some time. So at this point, they weren't aware of how many projects or accounts had been compromised. And so at that time, they were saying don't download anything from Mod The Sims until further notice. And they were also commenting that if you had already installed any mods in the past 24 hours, delete it immediately and run an antivirus or a virus scan on your computer. So I had, because on Monday I'd updated all my mods, and I had like 2 minor mods from Mod The Sims, one of which was supposedly updated in October. So I had downloaded it, but it was actually a package file, and as we see later, it wasn't one of the ones that would have been part of this, but I was at the time a little bit concerned, so I did all the gamut of it and deleted the newly downloaded one and all that. So here's the message from Deadpool's Discord, and here's Twisted Mexi. He actually had 2 messages where he was the one who initially said it because he was the one who saw it because it was his, and he posted not to download or use Mod The Sims until further notice. And then later on, he had an update. I'm in the Eastern time zone, so these are in the Eastern time zone on November 5th, that it appeared to only be a few accounts per MTS and that they had removed the files. They were no longer available, or they had taken action so you couldn't download them anymore anyways. So it does appear like it was maybe a minimal time period that they were even available. So hopefully it didn't affect many people, or hopefully any people. But anyway, so here we are back to, today's notification from the Sims After Dark Discord server, where it says malware update what we know now. So they want to update everyone with more information since they now had a clearer picture of everything. So at the time when they did this message, it appears that the attack was limited to just the accounts of Twisted Mexi and Moxie Mason. And no other hacks had been detected or reported, and it doesn't appear to be any high-level breach into the Mod The Sims systems or staff accounts. So it seems like it was a coincidence that they happened simultaneously, which seems odd to me, but that's what they're thinking. The staff at Mod The Sims have added new security measures to restrict the ability of new and inactive accounts to upload files, which should hopefully stop this from happening in the future. So there are the names of the files that are the sources of the malware. So there's 5 files that would be within those mods if you had downloaded it. And all of those are fake files with new names that were never part of the original mods. So if you have any of them installed, you need to take measures to make sure you secure your computer and personal data. So, and again, just in general, anything from Twisted Mexi would be outdated on Mod The Sims, so you really should never be getting anything from Twisted Mexi from Mod The Sims anyways. That goes on to say that, fortunately, the specific kind of attack here is covered by ModGuard, and if you had that installed already, then you should be okay. And it's a great reminder to everyone who uses mods, of course, to install ModGuard. However, if you do not or did not have ModGuard installed and ran the game with any of the above files installed, you may be in significant trouble. So they don't know yet the full extent of what the malware is capable of. It appears to be a data scraper. It likely only affects Windows devices. In worst case scenario, you may need to wipe your operating system and change your passwords from a different uninfected device. So that seems like a lot. They go on to say, remain vigilant. Well, this malware was caught and dealt with quickly. The last time this happened, there was a series of different attacks across several websites for several days. So keep these tips in mind. And that was earlier this year. And that was when Twisted Mexi created the ModGuard that is essentially just installed like any other mod. And the ModGuard version is the same as what he had previously, which he did a few different versions. So the most recent version, I'll show that after so you can see. So anyways, for remaining vigilant, you should download and install ModGuard. And if you see an update, check for patch notes or an announcements from the creator or on their normal social media accounts. If you see a creator posting on a brand new account or using a platform they don't normally use, double and triple check that they are legitimate posts. And if a mod updates and suddenly it has a script file that it didn't have before, ask what it is for and make sure the post is legitimate, because script files are the ones where these malware can be hidden in. If it's a package file, my understanding is it should be okay. So here is the post from Luthien Rising from earlier today. And it essentially says, on November 5th, 2024, a security breach at Mod The Sims enabled someone to upload malicious versions of at least 4 mods. Well, it seems like it was 5. Unlike the incident in January, no new accounts were involved, and one of the accounts breached was Twisted Mexi's, and another mod known to be compromised was an 18+ mod, which of course we've seen. So the files have been removed, and it's not confirmed as of November 6th whether any updates from before November 5th are also compromised. It is not yet known what the effect of any malware included or called up is, so assume it's very bad. So what to do now? If you downloaded any mods with TS4 script files from Mod The Sims on November 5th, delete the mod and run a virus scan. And if you don't already have it, download Twisted Mexi's tool, ModGuard. It will not protect against all possible script file exploits, but it will help. Note that your other system protections cannot see what's in a Sims 4 script file. So if you're running antivirus, it wouldn't see what's in there and see if it's bad. So now she goes on to say that she doesn't, in good conscience, recommend that Simmers download from Mod The Sims, as this is the second incident there in a year that involved login breaches. So if you do decide to continue using Mod The Sims, look at the files in the zip file. If they include a Sims 4 script file, find a different site the modder uses. Many modders have multiple places they upload, such as Patreon, CurseForge, Itch.io, or their own website. She then went on to comment about some changes to the mod update news, which she currently is hosting over on EA Answer headquarters, and she says she is no longer going to report on updates on mods or custom content hosted only on Mod The Sims. She did say she's going to continue to report broken mods even if they're on Mod The Sims, but she's not going to report mods that she wasn't reporting on before. The mod list for the current patch has already been adjusted to direct you to alternative places modders host mods. And also the mod list creator news will report when modders using MTS add new hosts for their mods. So that's what she is doing as a result of this. And Scarlett has similarly commented, that Mod The Sims was compromised. This was from yesterday, but she's no longer going to be tracking MTS mods either. And she has more details on her blog post about it, a lot of which we've seen already. But even though MTS has now made a list of the compromised mods, which they hadn't done before, she's still, at this point, not going to be tracking MTS on mods on the mod list, so it's still blacklisted. Now, as for that ModGuard, here is the most recent one from Twisted Mexi, which is version 1.5, which is from last February. He had a few at that time, but this one is still the most current version. This is shows from his Patreon, which is still a free post. So if you don't already have that, I highly recommend, as does everybody else here, that you go get this. And Krenrick also has a blog post with some information. Essentially, she updated her one from February with just, a brief blurb, but a lot of it's the same as here, but it's another place you can go, and I will link to everything down below. So let me know if this has affected you. Hopefully it hasn't, or if you, like me, had a scare that it maybe affected you, but in my case, luckily I wasn't affected. I'd love to know in a comment down below. But that's going to be it for this video. Thanks very much for watching, and I'll see you next time. Bye!